Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I wanted to take a minute today to recognize the 1 year anniversary of LG exiting the phone business. Now, of course, you can look around and see that LG is still alive, but they don't make smartphones. On April 4th of last year, they announced to the whole world that they were ending their smartphone business. And I don't know, the mobile market just hasn't felt the same. Last year was really weird. Like really, really weird. And almost it feels like a way that like they gave up right before all the bad stuff happened to everybody. Like phones were pushed back, prices have gone up, distribution and availability of supplies, the supply chain has just been wrecked. And it's been tough. I mean, it's been hard for the other major players to get their phones out to the market. So I can only imagine with another smartphone maker trying to compete in that space. It's been a really weird one. And I don't know. It feels kind of weird still that we're a year later now. There's no LG phone. Always after the Samsung phone came out, there was an LG phone to try and get excited about, and we had a lot of them. And the sad thing was, the last year and a half they were making phones, I really felt like they were the best phones they had made in a long time. And even when you look at the metrics, a lot of the sales had started to go up. They had picked up some, and I think that they were finally starting to get on the right path. But of course, there were a lot of problems. The biggest thing with LG is LG got in the way so much of LG. Like they tried so hard to do everything and just couldn't ever hammer down and focus on, I guess, one thing that they could really stand behind. And for the longest time, that was audio. And they had the best, even with like the V60. They had the quad DAC. It was amazing if you cared about wired audio. But it seems like we've been moving further and further away from wired audio, and that just wasn't really enough anymore. Like the diehard audiophiles were still representing LG, but it seemed like a lot of other people weren't. And then they kind of made some weird decisions with some of their flagship phones. They couldn't figure out what to name them, and then everything was the ThinQ, but what did ThinQ really even mean? And then we got the Wing, and then they were working on the Rollable, and I really wish I wish that the Rollable phone would have come out. I was very interested in it. I think we'll probably see that from somebody else. I know TCL is working on it. I think maybe even Samsung might be working on one. That whole scroll, that rollable concept. They were always pushing the boundaries of innovation. They were trying. They never really quite got it right with a lot of their stuff, but they tried. And the Wing itself was a very good phone. But by the time it came out, and then they wanted like $1,500 for it, it was just way too much money. And they were trying to unify their platform with several different phones. Basically, it looked like the Velvet, but had that screen that pivoted out. And that was kind of the last one everybody got excited about. And then it was game over for LG. And it wasn't that they don't have money. But the thing was is they were basically hemorrhaging about $1 billion a year in their handset division. And when you're hemorrhaging $1 billion in an otherwise profitable company, after a while, you have some people called the board of directors that kind of have to make these decisions to say, look, we're not succeeding here. We can't keep throwing $1 billion at this. And I think they saw the writing on the wall with what was happening with 2020, 2021. And I don't know. I still think that one day they'll probably try and come back. And I think that they should. We do need more manufacturers, of course. But the problem is the smartphone landscape really is just having a hard time trying to win hearts and minds anymore. The phones last longer than ever. The support is longer than ever. And it's kind of hard to get people to keep going out and buying new phones. The world is very saturated with smartphones. So it's hard for any global player nowadays. But I wanted to take a minute to recognize that it's been a year since they've been gone. We do miss them. Maybe one day they'll make it back. And the reason I say maybe they could come back one day, LG is one of the biggest electronics companies in the world. And absent their smartphone division, they actually have done a pretty good job with the rest of their business. So it would seem that maybe they could kind of streamline things and figure out a better business model and come back healthier, maybe more streamlined, and give people something that they want. And I think that that's a moving target that the smartphone industry is trying to find right now. What gets people motivated to buy phones? What gets people excited about phones again? For the longest time, it seems like phones are just kind of a rehash and a retread of the same phone, the same phone, the same phone when it comes to the slab market. And there's none of that amazing innovation that we had other than the foldables. The foldables, of course, are exciting. But what can you do to a traditional smartphone to get people excited again, to make them want to buy phones? And I'd like for somebody to figure that out, because it would be nice to quit kind of looking at the same phones over and over with different labels on them. So we'll see what happens. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe they never make another one. That wouldn't surprise me either. But as long as they're still in business, you always think in the back of your mind, maybe one day they'll re-enter the game and try it again. But that's all I've got. Not a long video. Just want to take a minute. RIP LG. We miss you. It's been a weird year without you. And we'll see what the future holds. But we've still got a couple other device manufacturers out there. We've got Samsung. We've got Google. We've got Motorola. We've got Apple. We've got Sony. Still hanging on by a thread somehow, and a couple others here and there. We'll see what happens moving forward, but for now, we'll continue to live in a world where we don't have those guys on the shelves at the store when you go look in with those great deals and the people who are willing to give you a buy one, get one free, or all these amazing trade offers, or even throw a TV your way to get you to buy their phone. LG was all about them trade-in deals, I tell you, and the BOGOs. So that's all I got. If you want to talk about it, rehash, relive some memories, if you're still using an LG, go to the comment section. We can talk about it, have some discussion, take a trip down memory lane and talk about it again. But that's all I've got. As always, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button. All that jazz, all those things if you want to be part of the channel and want notifications when I put videos out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.